Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be playing Fortnite for my very first time. So about 3 or 4 minutes in, so far all I've done is loaded up the game. Then I get to put in my screen name. I enjoy putting in the screen name. It shows everyone that I'm a complete noob. And first thing I've noticed is that there is no single player. This is a bad negative. I hate this thing about newer games. But since it was free, how much can I actually complain about it? So my first game, Team Rumble. I have always hated voice chat, so I was super bummed to hear this.
Ya cuando le preguntes a alguien, te va a disparar solo, ¿ok?
No dispares.
Dispara solo.
But even as I tried to hit the pause button to figure out how to turn it off, I didn't know how to, although it was probably staring me right in the face the whole time. Another annoying feature is when I found a garage door half open, I could not figure out how to crouch or go prone to go in there. I had to completely walk around the house and open all the doors in order to get into the garage, then walk back out those doors. I cut out my first 10 minutes or so of this because it was absolutely boring. All I did was jump out of a plane. That itself was pretty boring, but then after I landed, I just kind of stormed some houses, grabbing in as many guns and ammunition as I could. It took me about 5 minutes to realize that I wasn't really quite playing a team deathmatch. It was more or less a team battle royale. And it took me another 5 minutes or so to figure out how to find out who was on my team and who wasn't. Which in the end it was kind of funny because of the way this game ended and my stats towards this end. Now from this first time playing through, I noticed that this game actually does something very well that games need to do very well in these days. And it's sound design. The gunshots in the distance kind of have a familiar reverberation that I know. But it's not that they only sound good at a distance. When you're in close quarters combat, it kind of does give you the sort of audio effect that a game like Call of Duty would, which is actually very well done. So because the sound design was decent enough, I was kind of playing the game wrong at first, thinking that because these guns sounded kind of realistic, therefore they were probably realistic, and I was trying to play a distance game as if we were fighting with guns. It didn't really help either that at this point I still had no idea who was on my team. I was kind of coming to the understanding that all the blue arrows on the map were my teammates, but I had no idea what a gray arrow meant. Now with the fog of war so thick over me, I realized that my only strategy I can use that would actually work is to play defensively and keep at range and try to understand what was happening. And it was about this point halfway through the game when the game itself started becoming a little bit more exhilarating. I found myself, a little bit confused by the close quarters combat of what was happening. But then I saw him, my first victim. He had run up a ramp into a corner where he had met his doom by yours truly. From here on out, the rest of the game went okay. It played like any average third-person shooter multiplayer. My capture card had cut out before the game had ended, so I was unable to record my game stats. And one thing that was kind of upsetting about this is the only place I could find my game stats was on a Fortnite game stat reader of some sort. And even then, it only updated after about 10 or 15 minutes after the game had happened. And it didn't even show me my specific game results. What I wanted to show you was I came in first out of 40, which I'm very proud of. But I don't know if it's a recognition of how good I am at video games, or if it just kind of shows how bad the people are that I was playing with. Which is kind of upsetting. I like to be able to see these things within the game that I'm actually playing. One thing really upsetting to me is even in these stats, they don't actually show you your KDR or even how many deaths you've had. So what are my first impressions of this game? Honestly, I'll probably never play this game again. You get what you pay for, and this game being free is, a free game. If this was a $60 game, this would probably be a 2 out of 10. If it was a $20 game, probably be like a 5 out of 10. But scoring this game as a free game, I'd say this is probably above average free game. It's not as dull as, let's say Clash of Clans or, some free-to-play puzzle game on your mobile phone. But it's still not that great. But it's obvious I'm a big old gaping noob at this, and if there is something intriguing about this game that I'm missing, please let me know. I'd be fascinated to hear about it.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.